So I have a few updates, but I've decided I'm gonna do that at the end of the video in case you guys don't care about it because I know I've been rambling on for a little bit at the beginning of videos, and I kind of want to end that. So I'm just gonna go right into the battle, and if you want to hear what I have to say afterwards, I will talk about it in the end. So yep, getting right into it. This is the same OU team I used last battle, and I'm speeding up a little bit more than usual because it was a 35 round match and I wanted it was pretty good, so I wanted to use it. So right off the bat, I lead with my scuffed scissor, and I U-turn out. I didn't know if he wanted to stay in or not, but I decided to U-turn out and maybe trap him or whatever. But he decides to U-turn himself, which isn't that surprising. And seeing that damage, because I do have defense EVs, and that's resisted, I know that's banded. So he decides to go into his Lucario, and although I know that, I have super effective in Power Fire, and I lock him in, I'm not going to want to stay in just because he does have a super effective fighting move, and he shows Sphere here, which is obviously a special fighting move, which does mean that he is a special variant, which isn't, well, altogether unusual. I mean, like, unheard of. It's definitely less common than a physical counterpart. So he decided to switch out, not wanting to take a psychic or whatever, and I go for Yawn, predicting that. Well, if he wanted to stay in, make him force out next turn. And I do switch out here because I know my low tick normally has sleep talk, so that sleep won't really bother him. But he does go for Scald, and that's gonna hit my Metagross, my not Metagross. What am I saying? For decent damage, but it's not like I can take a good amount. So he's gonna want to switch out, and I do set up a substitute, predicting him maybe to want to, switch out into something like, for example, his Lucario, or, just switch out in general. And this is so I could, with a sub up, I can use a move that's more suited for whatever he brings in. So he does bring in his Arcanine, and he has two super effective moves usually, close combat, Flare Blitz. But because I'm behind the sub, I stay in and go for a Charge Beam, which, despite it's unboosted, it does a good chunk. So that means, obviously none of these guys are um, none of these guys are special defensive, but I guess that confirms it. So now I go into my Rotom Wash, and I do take a close combat, but I do not take it well at all. So I don't know if that was the best guy to take that, but I kind of had to. So now he decides. I don't know. I decided to switch out, predicting a switch, and I believe he doesn't. He just goes for extreme speed. Yeah, sorry, I predicted that. No, no, I know he wanted to take me out, so I go into my Scuff Scissor, take that, and then I can outspeed him next turn. But he does switch, and so I just get to hit the Milotic with a superpower. And because Milotic has ability when she's asleep, boosts her defense. That's not going to do much, and that damage probably confirmed to him that I am not banded, I am scuffed. So I do go to my Velcarona now, knowing that I will be able to take advantage of Milotic's sleep, because if I can get up a couple of um, if I can get up a couple of Quiv Dances and get lucky and have him not hit any of his um, Sleep Talks into Skulls, I can potentially sweep his team with Quiver Dancing up and getting a sub up. But he does get rest twice in a row, which is unfortunate, but it really helps me because now I'm free to set up a Quiver Dance as many as I can until he does indeed wake up. So I go for my first one here, which puts me on +1 special attack, special defense, and speed. As he forgets that I don't know if because I put him to sleep, it's not the 2-turn rest sleep like it would be if he put himself to sleep with rest. So he does not wake up this turn, which is really nice. So I get up a second Quiver Dance. And so at this point, I'm hoping that with +2 special defense, I might be able to take a Scald from, obviously a not very offensive Milotic. But unfortunately, it does break my sub. But that's not too big of a deal, because I'm guessing that after one more, I should be able to take a Scald. At least my sub should be able to take a Scald. So I do go for one more Quiver Dance here, knowing that even if I don't, even if it still breaks my sub, I can at least take it well enough to attack him. So he does, survive and attack him next turn to switch out, whatever I want to do. But taking that damage, I know that he's not going to break my sub. So this turn, I do go for a substitute. So he will. So I did not predict the Dragon Tail. I knew it was a possibility, so I did go for a sub either way. But even if he hadn't gone for that, his sub would still be the good move. So now I go for another Quiver Dance, which, because that Dragon Tail, put me at an advantage where I can have a sub up, and that Scald, which probably wouldn't have broken my sub, but it might have. So now at +4 special defense, I know I can take um, a sub can take a Scald. So at this point, after I get one more sub up, I'm gonna start attacking him. And so this is um, kind of a long example of what this Volcarona is supposed to do, but it does it well. So now I have a sub up and I'm at +4. So I do go for Bug Buzz. I doubt it's gonna take her out because obviously my low techs tend to be special defensive, but I know it's gonna do a good chunk, and then I will still have enough HP to sub up next turn once she breaks my sub with a second Scald. So um, yeah, and me having leftovers in this Volcarona, like this is the precise reason why I do for this kind of situation, where I'm like slowly getting up quiver dances while they, try to break my sub, and then I eventually get enough special defense to survive it. But he does hit me with a Scald, and like before, it does not break my sub, because he didn't get a crit, and I am going to be able to just take out his Milotic this turn with a Bug Buzz. So at this point, I'm behind a sub, and I'm looking good to sweep. There's nothing on his team that will be able to outspeed me at +4, and the only guy that can hit me at all is, well, no, I guess he has priority on 2 Pokemon. He has it on this Arcanine. So he hits me with extreme speed and does break my sub, unfortunately. And I make a really dumb move. If you notice, he doesn't have Intimidate, which means he obviously has Flash Fire, but I'm just too stupid. I even noticed that earlier, and I just completely forgot about it. So I go for Fiery Dance, and he does just get that, Flash Fire, and he's able to take me out next turn. Um, see, looking back, it doesn't matter that much because he did have a Scissor just to finish me off next turn with the move he desired. No, with Bullet Punch, which he does show later he has. I mean, what Bandit Scissor doesn't? But, so I wouldn't have been able to survive either. So that entire setting up didn't really matter, but, whatever. So I go on my Rotom Wash to hopefully bluff the Scarf, and he does go into his, Ferrothorn, and I do not want him setting up those spikes to Stealth Rock, so I go into my Espeon, and I don't have my Volcarona anymore, so the Stealth Rocks wouldn't have hurt me too bad, but I mean, I still just wanted to go to my Espeon to bounce back those potential rocks. So here I go for a Yarn, not sure what he's going to do, but knowing I can survive a hit regardless. And I guess he forgets that I have Magic Bounce, or he didn't think Leech Seed was affected by Magic Bounce, but either way, he bounces back Leech Seed on himself, which does miss, but it wouldn't have affected him anyway. So now I go into my Magma Zone as he decides to switch out, and he goes into his Wheezing. Now, here, I wasn't exactly sure. I kind of mess up. I go for Hidden Power Fire, in case, he brought in a Steel type. I don't know why he would, but maybe Lucario again. But I could have gone for Charge Beam. That would have done more, but I don't think it matters in the long run because my Magnezone doesn't really play that much of a role, and I don't think a Charge Beam really would have done that much more. So now I go on my Rotom Wash, and I go for Hydro Pump, which is able to finish him off from this health, and that probably was a close KO. I know Wheezing isn't that offensive, but now he goes into his Ferrothorn, probably thinking I am locked in the Hydro Pump, but I am Expert Belt. But either way, it doesn't really matter because I don't have anything to hit him, save Hidden Power Ice, which really wouldn't do that much either way, so I decided to get out of there and go to my Espeon to take whatever, whether it be a Leech Seed or Power Whip, because I do put his Ferrothorn to sleep, which is really what I wanted, because my Flygon could handle his Ferrothorn fine, as long as it's not awake. So now I'll go to my Scissor, and I was predicting him to hopefully switch out, but he doesn't, decide to stay in, which is probably a bad idea, and it might have actually cost him the game. But I do just go into my Flygon to take that one Power Whip or Leech Seed, but he actually just goes for the Leech Seed and misses. So, yeah, that was kind of a waste of a turn. He's put to sleep. So, obviously, I don't want to lock myself into a Resistant Dragon move, because I think all the Pokemon he has left, Lucario, Scizor, and Ferrothorn, are Steel types. So I do just go for an Earthquake to hit them all for super effective damage. No, wait, no, only hit Lucario, but hit them all for neutral damage. So I do take him out with 2 Banded Earthquakes, and now he goes into his Scissor, and here he does reveal his Bullet Punch, which, would have taken out my Volcarona anyway. But I do take that, despite it being banded, that's not super effective, so I can take that, and I take him out with a crit earthquake, but I highly doubt it mattered because Scissors defenses are not that amazing, and I am banded like I mentioned. So here, he does have a special Lucario, so he wouldn't have extreme speed. So I do take him out with one last Earthquake, and that will be a good game. So that was a 3-0, I believe, and it was closer than it seemed because if my Flygon had died, I probably could have won, but it would have been probably more like a 1-0 instead of a 3-0. So the score doesn't always, show actually how the match went. So that was a great match. And what I wanted to mention, guys, is the reason I wasn't posting earlier is because I couldn't. I can only record at my mom's house, and I'm only there half the week normally. But this past week, I was at my dad's the entire time, so I couldn't record. But I'm back, and yep. So I'm gonna hopefully be posting more, and also I hope to get a webcam that I can record slightly better, my screen slightly better with it. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.